Hello! Okay, so in this tutorial I'm going to teach you 3 separate new starter to beginner level moves, and then we're going to have a look at putting them all together into a short bit of choreo, okay? So first of all, we're going to have a look at flamingo. So your flamingo is going to look like this. And it's not only a nice pose, but it's a nice stretch out for the side of your body as well. So, flamingo. You want to stand next to the pole, nice and close. Take your inside hand, have the palm facing towards you, and bring the forearm and the palm of your hand onto the pole. Wrap your fingers around the pole so you can grasp it. Outside hand comes up over your head, thumb pointing downwards towards the floor, and you're going to keep the thumb and the fingers together, okay? Because we're going to do a cup grip. So, cup grip up over the top. What we don't want is to wrap the thumb around as well, okay? So keep it cup grip, keep the thumb on the same side as the fingers. Next, we're going to lift our inside leg up, like this. And then finally, we're going to lean away from the pole, like this. I always think flamingo looks nice if you look down towards the base of the pole as well. If you're finding that pretty easy, give it a go on tiptoes and with your outside foot closer to the pole. So, if I move my outside foot closer to the base of the pole, come up onto my tiptoes, lift the inside leg and lean away. I'm having to use my core more to maintain my balance. Yay! So feel free to pause the video, give that a little go. And next we're going to have a look at flamingo to another flamingo, which is a classic. So, flamingo to flamingo. It's going to look like this. Okay? So, come into your flamingo, like we've just done. Inside hand, palm towards you. Outside hand up over your head in cup grip, thumb towards the floor. Inside leg up, lean away from the pole. First, we're going to pull our hips back in towards the pole to regain our balance. We're going to pull in. Outside hand comes off. Inside hand moves up nice and high, keeping that shoulder pulled back and down always. If you want, you can have a little bit of extra help by bringing this hand back onto the pole here. As you get more confident with it, keep this hand off. Your inside leg is now going to step around the pole, so lean forwards a little bit to here. So you can see I've got foot, pole, foot, and like a little symmetrical pattern, yeah, as if there's a solid line going through them all. From here, either using momentum or using this hand to help pull you, I'm going to pivot around that side of the pole, using this foot to pivot on, and lifting this leg up. Once I lift this leg up, it's not coming back down on the floor, okay? So once this leg is up, keep it up, resist the temptation to step down, all right? So we're going to lift, and I'm going to keep turning, so I'm facing away from you. Pull with this hand if you need to. Keep turning, keep turning. You see this leg hasn't come back down onto the floor at all, it stays up. And then you'll see this arm is now pretty much in the position that we need it to be. All we have to do is change this hand, like this, back into cup grip, and lean out. And then if you want to, you can do it back the other way. So hand off, hand up, step, turn, keep turning, and change grip. And that's your flamingo to flamingo. So feel free to pause the video again, have a little go, and do as many of those as you like. Try doing them really nice and slowly, and it really gets you used to kind of using the pole to balance with and engaging your core muscles to try and keep you up on tiptoes if you're doing it at that level. But do feel free to just keep your feet flat on the floor as well. We're going to add another move in a second. So, if you've gone back and mastered your flamingo and your flamingo to flamingo, what we're going to add on next is a step around, okay? So first of all, I'll show you what your step around is going to look like. It's going to look like this. So we want to stand next to the pole, inside hand nice and high, shoulder engaged back and down, always, always, always. Outside hand comes across your chest and holds onto the pole like this. Now we're going to pivot on our inside foot, this one. So this foot stays on the floor to begin with. Come up onto your toes, not only because of the aesthetic, but also because it's easier to pivot on a foot that doesn't have as much contact with the floor. The more skin is in contact with either the floor or the pole, the more grip there is. So we don't want much grip on the floor because we want to be able to pivot nicely on it. Lift your outside leg. I'm going to pull using this hand to bring me to turn to face towards the pole. I'm going to bend my knees, see how my top hand slides down as I do, to bring the feet together. So I'm in this almost seated position with the pole in between my thighs, midway between my knees and my hips in a squat position. At this point, I'm going to lift up the foot that we were pivoting on, bring it around and back to the starting position, okay? Resist the temptation to come around, pivot, 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 because then you've lost it, okay? So once you come to here, come up, but remember this arm stays in front of your chest. Back to this position, okay? I'm going to talk through that one more time, facing the other direction. Inside hand high, shoulder back and down, outside hand across the chest, pivoting on the inside foot, lift the outside leg, turn to face the pole and squat. Pole comes between the legs, lift the other leg up, and back to your starting position. And that's your step around. So, pause the video, have a couple of goes. Obviously do both sides, always, no escaping both sides. And then once you're happy with that, we'll have a look at adding that onto our little combo so far. Okay, so we've done our flamingo to flamingo, a herd of flamingos if you will, and our step around. What we want to do now is we want to add that step around onto the flamingo to flamingo that we did. So I'll show you what it's going to look like and then I'll talk us through it. So we start with our flamingo. Okay, so we end up facing away from you. So let me show you what happens there. Flamingo, which you should be comfortable with now. Come into a flamingo on the other side. And then to transition into our step around, we're going to pull the hips back again. This leg is going to stay up, it's still not coming down, but we're going to change the grip of this hand from a cup grip to a true grip. So it's going from thumb down and cupped to thumb up and wrapped around. So cup grip, take it off, change it, true grip. Grab the pole nice and firmly with this outside hand, and then you're going to turn towards the pole, away from the pole. Extend that leg that we kept in the air and you're ready to do your step around. Turn towards the pole, squat, pull between your legs, come up and back here. Okay, I'm going to show you that one more time from the other way around. So, flamingo, flamingo, change grip, turn, extend the leg, turn to the pole, squat, and up. Okay? So I like to do it with the flamingos facing towards the audience to start with. So we end this point facing away from the audience, but as you can see from that example just then, you can always do it the other way around so you end up facing the audience. But we're going to add another bit onto it as well, it's not done yet. So have a go, see how you feel with it. Try it starting on either side as well. So you have to do that step around on both sides. And once you're comfortable with it, we'll have a look at the final move that we're going to add on at the end, okay? Okay, so final move. We're going to do a little twiddle into a figurehead. So your figurehead is going to look like this. kind of like this because I've got a bit of a wall in the way, but we'll give it a go. Okay, now with your figurehead, doesn't particularly matter which leg you lift up. It will when we add it into the choreography, obviously, because you want to try and keep the flow and not be changing legs around which one's on the floor. And also when you're doing your figurehead, you can either do it bracket grip as we are doing this time, or you can do it with both hands in cup grip up above, which is harder to balance. Just like with your flamingo, you can either do it with feet flat on the floor, or you can come up onto your toes, which makes it a little bit more difficult to keep your balance, but really works your core muscle and improves the lines of the shape as well. So, figurehead. Start with your back to the pole. To make it fit in with the choreo we're doing, you're going to take, this is my right hand, so the hand furthest away from the audience. It's going to come up in a cup grip over your head. Again, make sure we're not overreaching, keep those shoulders engaged back and down all the time, even when you've not got your body weight in them. Bring your bottom hand and place it just where it sort of naturally comes to here, yeah? So I've kind of got thumb to bum, thumb around the pole. Up onto your tiptoes. Lift the leg furthest from the audience in this instance. And then we're going to drop the hips forwards, using our top hand and our bottom hand to balance. If you can, look up towards the base of the pole and squeeze your shoulder blades together. And come back. Okay? So, have a little go at your figurehead a few times. Have a play around with doing the different grips, either both hands cup grip above your head or bracket grip like I showed you. Make sure that you swap hands with your bracket grip to do it one on each side as well, so we're training both sides equally. And then once you're comfortable with that, we're going to have a look at adding it onto the choreo that we've got so far. Great. Okay, so we finished our step around like this. To get into our figurehead, what we're going to do is we're going to take this hand, slide it down the pole, and then take it off and bring it onto this side, thumb down, because this is going to push us and turn us around, okay? So, hand off onto the pole. Push with that hand, come around, swap the top hand into cup grip, and lean out. Come back and down. Okay? So let me show you that directly from the step around. Starting the step around, facing away from the audience. Inside hand high, shoulders engaged, outside hand across the body. Lift the outside leg, turn to face the pole, squat, pole between the legs, come up, keep this leg up, this hand comes down into the push position, still keeping this foot off the floor, push to pivot, still keeping the foot off the floor, change the top hand to cup grip, and figurehead. Yeah? Give that a try, going from your step around into your figurehead, and then once you're happy with that, I'm going to show you the whole choreo all together, and then just do it kind of talking it through as well. Yay. Okay, so the whole thing all together is eventually going to look something like this. Yeah. So, I'm going to do it one more time. I'm going to talk you through it in case you want to do it with me so you can hear the prompts as we go. So start off with flamingo. Hand on, inside leg comes up, lean away from the pole, pull back in, outside hand off, inside hand high, step around, pivot, keep turning, change the grip, drop the hips. Pull back in, change the grip, turn, turn to face the pole and squat. Keep that foot up, hand comes down, push, turn, top hand change to cup grip, and lean out. Okay, so a nice little new starter beginner combo there. Like I said, feel free to pause it at any point of the video and like go back to bits if you don't get what's going on. And yeah, it's a useful one for if you've not got much space at home as well. I hope you enjoy it. Yay! Bye!